If you're tired of wasting money on glass or plastic enclosures that leak, bleed out heat, or are a complete nightmare to clean, you are in the right place. Today, I'm breaking down the top 5 hermit crab tanks on the market to save you from making those expensive, fatal mistakes. You will absolutely want to stick around for the #1 spot too, because that specific tank completely revolutionized how I handle the delicate molting process. And it will permanently solve every humidity issue you've ever had. Let's get into it. 5. REPTIZOO Small Crab Tank. When I first unboxed the REPTIZOO, I was admittedly charmed by its compact footprint and sleek aesthetic. It looks like a premium piece of equipment right out of the box, featuring a highly transparent viewing area that makes it really easy to keep an eye on your little crustaceans. The top features a nicely designed feeding hole, which allows you to drop in food without having to take the entire lid off and disturb the crabs. It feels relatively sturdy for its size, and the latching mechanism on the top cover gives a satisfying click, assuring you that nothing is going to push its way out in the middle of the night. Setting it up was incredibly straightforward, and I initially used it to house a couple of very small, quarter-sized hermit crabs. The base is completely waterproof, which is a nice touch if you want to add a slightly deeper water dish, or if you accidentally overmissed the enclosure. The feet on the bottom are slightly raised, allowing you to easily slip a small under-tank heating mat beneath the glass without it sitting directly on your furniture. For a quick afternoon setup, it certainly looks the part and provides a much better viewing experience than a standard plastic critter keeper. However, after a few weeks of real-world testing, the fatal flaws of this design for hermit crabs became glaringly obvious. The biggest issue is the top-heavy ventilation. Because the lid is mostly mesh, it completely bleeds out the precious humidity that hermit crabs desperately need to breathe through their modified gills. 4. REPWILD 20-gallon PVC crab enclosure. The immediate benefit of this tank is the material. PVC is significantly lighter than a traditional glass aquarium of the same size, making it much easier to move around the house or adjust on a shelving unit. The matte finish of the PVC gives it a modern, clean look that blends really well with contemporary room decor, and the 20-gallon capacity finally provides the necessary floor space to offer both a freshwater and a saltwater pool for the crabs. I really appreciated the sliding front doors on this model. When you are dealing with skittish hermit crabs, coming at them from above like a predator reaching down can cause them a lot of stress. The front axis allows you to smoothly slide the doors open, swap out their food dishes, and perform spot cleaning on an eye-to-eye level. The enclosed PVC sides also naturally do a much better job of holding in humidity compared to all glass tanks, as the solid walls prevent the ambient room air from pulling the moisture away as quickly. Despite these upgrades, this enclosure brought a new set of frustrating challenges during my testing phase. The sliding tracks for the doors sit very close to the bottom lip of the enclosure. Because hermit crabs are notorious for dragging sand and dirt everywhere they go, those lower tracks constantly filled up with wet sand. Within a week, opening the doors sounded like grinding sandpaper, and they frequently jammed. I had to use a small vacuum attachment almost daily just to clear the tracks so the doors would close completely securely. Additionally, the PVC material, while great for insulation, proved to be highly susceptible to scratching. 3. Clioran Crab PC Terrarium. PC, or polycarbonate, strikes a fantastic middle ground between the heavy fragility of glass and the cheap feel of standard acrylic. When I unboxed this unit, I was struck by how crystal clear the viewing panels were. It genuinely looks like high-end optical glass, but weighs a fraction of what a traditional 20-gallon tank would. This makes the initial cleaning and setup process a total breeze, as you aren't straining your back trying to maneuver a heavy glass box into the sink to rinse it out. What really impressed me during the testing phase was how efficiently this terrarium held its microclimate. Polycarbonate is an excellent thermal insulator. Once I got my under-tank heater dialed in on the side of the glass, the ambient temperature inside the tank stayed at a perfect, steady 82 degrees, even when my house got chilly at night. The ventilation is also dialed in perfectly. It has just enough airflow to prevent stagnant air and mold growth in the damp substrate, but it is restricted enough that I only found myself needing to mist the tank once every couple of days to maintain ideal humidity. The dimensions of this enclosure are incredibly well suited for hermit crab behavior. It offers a generous vertical height, which allowed me to install a complex network of choya wood branches, climbing vines, and hanging coconut hides. Hermit crabs love to climb just as much as they love to dig, and watching them utilize the vertical space in this tank was a joy. The top access lid feels highly secure, and unlike my earlier experiences with sliding doors, the top-loading nature of this specific design meant I never had to fight with sand-clogged tracks. 2. REPTIZOO 20-gallon PVC crab tank. The REPTI tank is where we start entering the realm of truly premium, professional-grade enclosures. Taking this out of the box, you can immediately feel the superior build quality. Unlike a previous PVC tank I tested, REPTIZOO utilizes a much higher density, heavy-duty PVC board that feels incredibly rigid and durable. It features a brilliant hybrid design. The back and sides are solid PVC for maximum insulation, while the front features high-quality glass hinge doors. This gives you the absolute best of both worlds, unbeatable climate control combined with perfect scratch-resistant visibility. Testing this enclosure was a dream specifically because of the deep waterproof bottom tray. The front doors sit high up on the unit, leaving a massive lower section that is completely watertight. I was easily able to pack in 7 solid inches of my place sand and eco-earth mixture without it ever threatening to spill out when I opened the doors. This depth is the holy grail for hermit crabs. I had 3 crabs go down for a molt simultaneously in this tank, and the deep substrate allowed them to safely create their molting caves in complete darkness and security. The hinged front doors completely eliminate the grinding sand issue I experienced with sliding tracks. You just swing them open like French doors, giving you completely unobstructed access to the entire footprint of the tank. This makes changing out heavy water bowls and arranging heavy climbing wood incredibly easy on your back. Furthermore, the top features a tough metal screen that comes with customizable wire cutouts, making it incredibly easy to route temperature probes and bubbler airline tubing into the tank without creating escape routes for the crabs. 1. Zilla 20-gallon QuickBuild Aquatic Crab Turtle. While the name highlights its aquatic and turtle capabilities, this is secretly the ultimate perfect habitat for hermit crabs. The standout feature here is the QuickBuild design. I was initially skeptical of a breakdown glass tank, expecting it to be flimsy or prone to leaking. I was completely wrong. This tank snaps together in literally less than 5 minutes without the need for a single tool, silicone, or messy glue. The engineering is genuinely brilliant, utilizing heavy-duty locking joints that make the entire structure feel as solid as a traditional pre-built aquarium. The reason this tank easily takes the crown for hermit crabs is its unprecedented base depth and absolute waterproofing. Because it is designed to hold actual swimming water for turtles, the glass base is completely sealed and exceptionally deep. I loaded this tank with 8 inches of heavy, soaking wet molting substrate, along with 2 massive, deep pools of fresh and salt water. The tank handled the immense weight and moisture without a single drop of leakage. The thick glass acts as a fantastic thermal mass, holding the heat from my side-mounted pads evenly across the entire enclosure. Visibility and access are unparalleled. The glass is pristine, offering a completely unobstructed 360-degree view of your crabs' daily antics. The top screen is reinforced and features a wildly secure locking mechanism that clicks firmly into place. I love that the screen mesh is tight enough to hold in humidity naturally, but perfectly capable of supporting a glass canopy insert if you live in a very dry climate and need to trap even more moisture.